Hello there, internet friends. It's Too Old for Gaming, and today we're in another exciting 10 versus 10 here in Steel Division 2. We're going to start off the match with taking out this Ju-87 D5 Recon. We've got the F6C, which does quick work to the Ju-87, so another plane coming in, but we're getting hit by anti-aircraft fire. So if you haven't noticed yet, we're playing the DBSAS. And we are going to kick some butt with French resistance. So SAS group moving up first in the civilian car here to the front lines. And I might try to make this one look a little bit more cinematic. Change it up a bit. Zoom in to show you guys the awesome graphics in this game. So our SAS group catches an MG42 out of position. But we're getting fired on by Schulpo and Rona Schutzen teams. And getting suppressed, so the DP-28s and MG-26Ts giving us some problems. Our SAS scouts over here trying to kill off that Panzerschreck team. We do have the Free French Army Panhard 178. Our SAS group is exploded. Excuse me, no, I set off smoke, I forgot. Yeah, I set smoke and that kind of blew up right when they died. So I do have these partisans. They're getting wiped out by the 7/1 right now. They're, realistically, for quite close combat with the 3 MOS-38s, the Molotovs, and the 6 rifles. I like the attention to detail of doing the 2 different rifles, so we do manage to knock out that anti-aircraft gun. I have these saboteurs who are going to come in this captured half-track, and then we're going to try to walk them up so they can use their TNT to blow up the enemy inside the village. So one thing from playing this map before is if you got to get a foothold if you're on this side of the map. Get a foothold in here, you gain your position, or if the enemy gets this whole area, it's very hard to get it back. So we do get 5 of these 15-point light tanks, which we're going to use, I think, quite effectively here. So definitely watch that. If you guys have watched me very much, I love light mortars, like the super light mortars for fire support. They do such a great job in towns of suppressing the enemy. So we're going to use these 2-inch mortars here soon. These Schulpo teams, though, are keeping us from advancing too quickly. We did surrender an MG-34 Panzergren team. There's another MG-42 down here, and we've got an IG-290R firing at us. These things are extremely dangerous. Hasn't taken a casualty yet, not too scared by our rifle fire. So we'll have to manage him before he starts knocking us out. The Scouts team, probably going to get wiped here first. It seems like they're firing at him. I did bring in these 47mm cannons from 1937. Up close, definitely worthwhile to bring into towns. Unfortunately, our little recon half-track did get knocked out, and same with our recon team. So 2-inch mortar finally going off on these Rona Schutzen to get them pinned down. We got a Flak 37 pinning our partisans out in the open here. Got more and more of these SAS teams coming in. So Free French H-39s chipping away at the IG-290R, who's just under. You just hear all the machine gun fire landing around him. He's finally knocked out here. I also brought in SAS Jeeps, which may be my favorite unit in the game. It's just way too cool to run those things around, and I love that they have a radio. So MG-42 getting pinned by my light armor here. So this is, you can't, based on the speed, it's really hard to use these as like a Stuart cavalry tank, but if you can get them in mass in a town, you're talking having a ton of machine guns and a light sort of high explosive. You can take out the enemy's light tanks too. So continue to move my equipment up. We're going to move this 47mm up here to the road so we can shoot down the road. We've lost sight of the 88. We'll take care of him in a little bit. The Rona Schutzen's caught out in the open, so we are fighting Koruk, who does get a lot of inexpensive infantry too, so it's kind of a cool matchup to see us both in the town here with cheap infantry. And these SAS para teams, pretty awesome with the 8 M1 carbines and 4 Stens and the Gammon bombs. They're definitely lethal. So my Jeep's here to provide. We could see him. He's going to start firing away at the infantry out there. There we go. Taking return fire from the enemy. The 45mm was destroyed. Now we got fire coming from over here, but it gets blown up. Unfortunately, our recon truck gets blown up. The SAS Jeep's taking lots of suppression, and our H-39's starting to get knocked out by this 45mm. I'm going to continue moving forward, though, and capturing ground here. Another Panzergren team is knocked out. So I've got more and more guys coming in. These are 15-point teams that are great for urban combat with those Molotovs. So we'll keep walking up these para teams and our AT guns and stuff. Rona shoots in. You know, we've still got our 2-inch mortars, so I'm firing away at this guy over here to try to suppress him. Remember, we don't have an LMG on these teams, so we gotta be in relatively close. I think it's 300 meters of range. Yeah. So the Rota teams are, looks like, double and single vetted. The enemies we're facing, I didn't vet any of these guys, so we're using our support equipment to overcome that. And you can see the 37mm, it's a small cannon, but it boosts it up about 15% every time, the suppression bar, every time you fire at them, so you can definitely help pin guys. Now we've got enemy light armor coming in. Look at that thing. This looks so cool. So we lose another squad here, but we're going to keep advancing. Rona shoots and keep getting pushed off here. Now we're fighting these VK-18s, which somebody's got to know this. Why did they take away the mudguard here? I'm not sure if this is extra armor protection or if that's a door to get out. I don't know. It looks like an old design. So these guys are well armored. They're bouncing my 37mm. So 80mm of frontal armor? I had no idea. That's insane. Wow. So I had no idea those things were that strong. No wonder my 37's bouncing. These things can penetrate 50 on a good day. So, wow. Very surprised. So the 47mm can do 70. So these things, these are like crazy good for some reason. Just bouncing rounds off the front here while it's 47mm push into position. So, unfortunately, probably going to lose some tanks here. This guy's set up in a good spot. He's got a good defilade on one side. And he gets a shot right on us on our Panhard here. He blows him up. And our para teams finally knock him out. I do have my partisans moving forward continuously here. So we're losing this area over here though, which is a little worrisome because that's my left flank. I mean, my reinforcements can be completely cut off in this direction. So go partisans! All right, they spotted the Flak 37. I don't know without a light machine gun if these guys are gonna live. So our H-39 running out of high explosive shells. We're continuing to push the line here. As our ultimate, the goal for me is to take this flag and take out his reinforcement road if we can. So he's still shooting at these guys. And there's more infantry from the enemy right here. These para teams can make quick work, and then we've got machine gun support now with the 251/1 capture. Oh, my partisan team was wiped by the 88. And here's that leader we were looking for. He's a beefy leader team with a machine gun, so he actually, we're not in close enough to use our MOS 38, so that's bad news for us. And nobody else can see him. So we've got an anti-aircraft gun here chewing up our partisans out in the road. Stop firing, there he goes. Those guys get absolutely wiped out by 20mm high explosive. And we lose another partisan team, so starting to fall apart slightly here. We ended up, this was out of camera view, but we lost this flag for a second, so I had to come in, bring in some easily hideable teams, a machine gun and a 50mm to just hold this without having too much equipment, because again, I need my reinforcement road. The other way is just as deadly, if not deadlier. So we managed to take out the leader team with these paras, because the paras are awesome. And the Rona shoots and get wiped too, and there's another team we just saw for a second here. Got enemy air contact again. Looks like another reconnaissance team. So we did destroy the 20mm in revenge. And we've captured over 50% of the town now. I did bring in a 50mm. And we encountered a Pac 40 over here. So we're going to show them with the 2-inch mortar to get them suppressed. Got our partisans here. And unfortunately, he is Johnny on the spot. Lasers the Jeep and knocks him out, but he dies. So enemy Pac 40 down. Definitely helping give us some breathing room here. We've got a little bit of position in the town now. So I'm going to bring in another platoon of infantry. This time the Maquisards. I've got my 2-inch mortar in range now on this Flak 37, so we should start seeing mortars fall in this position. Not super accurate. That one landed real close, though. So he's almost fully suppressed after that one round came in close. I'm running out of 2-inch mortar shells. I got 12 left here in the tank. And the 2-inch mortar's 15 points versus 20 for the Russians. They just don't have that range. So he's taking tons of casualties now. He's down to 3 men. He's had 4 casualties. Or actually 3. Yeah, 4 casualties. So now that he's fully pinned, I'm going to move my equipment forward here. We're launching our last 6 shells at him. And we'll see if we can knock him out here. So we're in Phase B now. I have Hotchkiss 50 cals, so we're going to put those into play against the enemy here. And our para teams, anybody trying to come up here is just going to get, if they're infantry, they're not going to last against these M1 carbines and stun guns. So Hotchkiss set up here on the hilltop. It's going to start chipping away at the enemy. IG-290's firing at us. But that 50 caliber fire, see, look, this para team is going to absolutely wipe these guys out. Hotchkiss in close enough to shoot at this 88. That's big news. And he's fully pinned down. So over here in the town, we're going to continue moving our para teams forward. Oh no, our H-39 was knocked out. So out of the original 5, we've got 1 left. But they're 15 points, so they're as cheap as a 2-inch mortar. So Zis 5, take it out. So down to 3 men here. If this gammon bomb goes off, he's not shooting it. Not sure why. Must be just out of range, or they only go against tanks. I thought they went against infantry too. I guess I'm wrong. So bring in another saboteur team to help clear out the town. Enemies projecting power down to our flag down here, so the guy on my left flank really struggling against the enemy. I did bring in captured 105, so we'll use that. We've got our radios. That's, if you saw me holding back some equipment like this SAS Jeep, it's because I wanna keep the radios. So we're about to cap the flag we want. We've got para teams all the way up here. And I noticed the enemies got 150s here right on this reinforcement road. Don't do that. That's a really bad idea because all the shelling where I'm going to try and kill you is going to take out your trucks too. So, bonus. VK-1AT back in the game. I'm going to have to add, I got to add these things to my deck. I had no idea they had that much armor. I mean, talk about a cool unit. Like 7,000 rounds of 8mm ammo. So this JU-87's coming in to try to take out some of my stuff. And I don't really have great anti-air. I just had this 20mm back here, so I'm going to walk him forward, but then call in some more anti-aircraft. All these Shilpo teams just getting pushed off the flag. And we're going to use our armor to just keep pushing them out of the zone so we can capture the flag. Our Hotchkiss team did surrender to these guys. And the other one here getting pinned down. But the 2-inch mortars firing at these guys. Can they land a hit? No. So we don't have... I've got a 47mm anti-tank gun over here. We did blow up one with the Gammon bomb. Can we get the other one? Wow. Heroes right here. So those guys are not nearly as tricky using an infantry ambush. The JU-87, he knows he's got room to breathe here, so we'll get that AA unit in soon enough. 105s, just look at that. This whole reinforcement road's closed off because he put 2 150s back here. So, just a tip for you guys. Take the extra effort and walk it off over here so that you're not saturating fire on your reinforcement zone. So Saboteurs over here firing M1 carbines at the Shilpo teams, gets them knocked out. They can't capture ground, so we're going to keep walking up these Raider teams. And we're going to use these MG42s the Germans have given us. Yeah, I don't think running into machine gun fire was a great idea for them. Alright, so we're at a 21-11 with 2 minutes to go and a minor defeat for the enemy. I did bring in these Jagdpanzer 4s, but we're just not encountering enemy armor. I'm a little surprised we didn't get more resistance here, to be honest. I brought in a sniper into the windmill over here to help scout out this area and protect it with this guards team, by the way. 1913, nope, back to 2012. So if this was going a full match, I'd eventually get AT guns and field guns and machine guns and recon set up over here, and we could do a hammer and anvil on them and just take these flags too. Cut off his reinforcements here. You can cut them off here with an AT gun. So getting the hilltop is huge in this. So our partisans almost got taken out by a falling aircraft. I've actually had falling aircraft take out my artillery before, 150s, and it's the most annoying thing to have just a plane fall out of the sky after it's shot down and take out your equipment. So we've got our Hotchkiss up here, and he can go 1,250 meters, so he can pin all these guys. JU-87's back in, but we got the M15 in here now. So M15 might be able to take him down, and we do. So you don't get a whole lot of anti-aircraft, but oh, by the way, I brought in a P-47. There was a Stug 3G sitting over here we saw earlier, and I had a lot of extra points, and we're nearing the end, so I just brought in a P-47 to wipe them out. J-87's come back to sweep our position again. And now they're trying to bring in recon and bombers for us, but, I mean, it's obviously the match is over at this point. And we've got our 37mm anti-aircraft guns now. Our 25 is actually doing something at this point. So we've got the entire hill now. This Nashorn would probably get taken out by our 50 back here if he kept advancing. So looks like we took out another Stern Pioneer team down here. There's still a 150 up here. Down to 2 men. He's looking pretty rough. And so I've even got a 47mm up here now, but they're not even going to call in reinforcements. Rocket fire coming down on my Jagdpanzer. Does he take it out? No. Man, I know this game came out like 5 years ago, but it is still a beautiful game. I know Warno is a bit updated, maybe a little bit better, but I do not mind the graphics engine in this game at all. So he wanted to artillery my M15, but we got 5 seconds to go here, so I moved him as well. And that is the match. We get a minor victory after 21 minutes and 43 seconds, capturing 19 out of 32 objectives. Take a look at our team stats for this one. So we did really good, 1370 to 420, and the third most kills. Not that kills matter that much, but we also captured some flags. So we got that first kill with our recon plane, taking out the enemy's recon, and then our H-39s did a good job for 15 points. Panhard did a good job too, and our para teams, I mean, they kind of speak for themselves. We even got a couple trucks with that 47mm. But again, these para teams with their M1 carbines are very strong. Saboteurs took out 2 teams. Yeah, so overall, like, very happy with the performance of the French in this. The 88 out in the field was took out a couple groups, an SAS Jeep and a couple Saboteurs. That 45mm that had good defilade, he took out a lot, man. He did really good. Lorezel. Pack 40 took out a Jeep. That's when I thought I could take him out. And he turned instantly. So we did 14% of the kills with only 5% of the casualties. So DBSAS. Use them in towns to great effectiveness. Hope you guys enjoyed it and use some of my tips. I'll see you in the next one. Take care.